June 12th, 1974, Hamilton, Ohio. It's just another perfect day in a city not too far from Cincinnati, Ohio. On that day, 15-year-old Cynthia Burlane was hanging out with her boyfriend Charles Brown and their friends. All they did pretty much that day was hang out at a local park, and then later on in the evening, they went to Charles' house where her and her boyfriend watched TV until around 11 o'clock at night. Around that time, it's getting late, and Cynthia tells her boyfriend, "Hey, I gotta get home." So they drive a couple miles from Charles' house to this very intersection right here. This is Grand Boulevard and Erie. This is Ohio Route 4 right here. She's gonna be dropped off right here, and she's going to hitchhike home to Springdale, which is 8 miles right down this road right here. Now, her friends had told her before that hitchhiking is very dangerous, but she had done it multiple times before and everything was fine. So he waits right here while she's hitching a ride. A car pulls up, dark colored car. Door opens up, and the dome light is a white guy, maybe in his 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Cynthia talks to him for a moment, and she waves at her boyfriend, hey, everything is good, he's gonna take me home. She jumps in his car, heads down Route 4, and is never seen ever again. The next day, June 13th, 1974, word has quickly spread that Cynthia has not returned home that previous evening. Her parents are worried sick, and quickly word has spread between family and friends. It's a little after 6 p.m. Teenage boy riding his bike right here where Beckett and Rialto Road meet. Over in a ditch or the side of the road, he sees a dead body. Immediately, he bicycles home to call 911. When the sheriffs arrive, they see what appears to be a girl. However, she's so badly beaten that they can't tell exactly how old she is. I mean, her face, her head is a complete mess. It looks like she took a very, very severe beating. Her family is at home. They're listening to the radio. One of the family members of Cynthia Burlane was listening to the radio when they heard a news report of a body of a young female that had been found in this area right where I'm standing. They had gave a description of what the body was wearing, and what confirmed that that was Cynthia to the person that was listening to the radio was that Cynthia, for some unknown reason, had wrote her name on the toe of one of her Converse shoes. So when they said that the body had the name Cynthia written on the toe, they immediately knew that they had found her. Cynthia was taken to the Butler County Coroner's Office for autopsy, and in the report it states that the cause of her death was due to severe cranial-cerebral injuries from a blunt object, and also there were signs of strangulation, but the primary cause of death was the beating that she took, fracturing her skull in multiple places. So her murder would go unsolved for about over 25 years, going on 27. So in 2000, a Butler County homicide detective, he opened up the case files and was going through them, and he noticed that there was an excerpt in one of the papers that someone had came into the sheriff's office and had stated that they felt that the person that was responsible for Cynthia's murder was a man who went by the name of Big Jim. That was his street name. Now, who the hell is Big Jim? So the detectives start doing a little bit of digging and they get a name. Big Jim, real name is James Kraft. Now, James Kraft would be quite easy to find because at that point in time, he was doing a 7 to 25 year prison sentence for involuntary manslaughter. He killed his wife. So over the course of the next couple years, the detectives would interview James Kraft about where he was at the time that the crime was committed. Now, eventually, James admitted to having an interaction with Cynthia. At first, he tells the detectives, oh, I was there around that area at that time because he had just got off of work. He worked at Southwestern Steel over in the Hamilton area. So he said, oh yeah, I was there. I seen this girl. I was gonna stop and pick her up, but I'm married, so I thought my wife would get mad. So I thought better of it and decided not to pick her up. Now, why would your wife get mad if you're picking up a girl that's hitchhiking? I mean, you don't have any weird motives, do you? So that's already sending, alarm bells in the detectives' heads. Well, eventually, over the course of several interviews, detectives feel that now they have enough evidence to get James Kraft and charge him with the murder of Cynthia Bierlein. James Kraft also did admit to seeing the other car with a bunch of guys in there, kind of like 4 or 5 teenagers in a car just hooting and hollering. They had probably yelled at or whistled at Cynthia, and he claimed that she went into the car with those kids. However, Charles, Cynthia's boyfriend at the time, stated that no, she did not get into the car with them. She got into that dark colored sedan with a guy that I could see that he was white, probably in his late 20s, early 30s, but I didn't get a really good look at him. So you couple that with the fact that James Kraft's son said that around that time that his dad would keep about a 1.5-inch diameter metal pipe from his job behind the seat of his vehicle. And the metal shavings that they found around the body when they were investigating it are very consistent with a pipe that was from his job. Very, very microscopically similar to that pipe. So eventually in 2003, James Kraft goes to trial, and originally he's found incompetent to stand trial. So they hold the trial over while he gets treatment at a mental facility. 3 years later, 2006, now he's found competent to stand trial. And the trial proceeds, and he is later found guilty of first-degree murder, and he is sentenced to life in the Ohio Department of Corrections. James Kraft died in prison. I'm not exactly sure what year. It might have been 2021. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Rest in peace to this poor girl. We'll catch up with you on the next video. Peace out.